Evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting show on the African Duchess Show with your host, Rumbidayam Zopa from Zimbabwe in Southern Africa. It's a lovely day today. It's a Thursday, the 3rd of September. Today, we are joined with our guest, Gwendolyn Chipangura, who is a financial analyst right here in Zimbabwe. And the topic for the day is Battle of the Mind. The topic for today is Battle of the Mind. So we're gonna get straight into business. All right. It's very important that we take care of our mind because your mind is the most powerful tool you have for the creation, either for the good or for the bad that happens in your life. So if you don't use your mind correctly, you can also um, it can also cause so much distraction in your life, and we have to have control of our thoughts because they influence the way we live. Gwen, can you just say hi to everyone?
Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful evening wherever you are. Much love from Zimbabwe.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So back to the issue of the mind. Your mind specifically, your thoughts, they affect our perceptions. They affect your interpretation of things. They affect almost everything around you. How you act, what you would do. It all comes back to the mind because I believe your mind is your CPU. Without your CPU, your computer, your desktop, it won't work because the CPU is the brains of the computer on its own. So your mind is the CPU. It's my CPU. It's everyone's CPU. Without it, if you don't take care of it, you will crash. Okay. So also on that, you as an individual, me as Rumbidzai, as Gwen, as anyone who's out, as everyone who's out there, we are responsible for our own happiness. So if you don't have direct control over your mind, you will hurt yourself. You will bring heartbreaks. You attract so much negativity and disappointments to yourself. And on the issue of that, also we need to be aware of some of the things that reside, or I can say squatter, in our minds. So today I'm going to mention the types of the things that squatter in our mind, or that derive certain actions that we do. And I picked up two of the most popular ones. And the first one is the inner critic. So the inner critic settles in our mind and is derived from what others from other people's words. It can be words from your parents, it can be words from the society, it can be words from your friends, from your enemies, it can be words from a regular person who's just passing by. So these they have um, impact on your mind, and also as on the inner critic as well. There are thoughts as well that you have created based on others, on other people's perceptions of you and your expectations as an individual. So let me just finish through the factors on the inner critic before I move over to Gwen. And also, comparing yourself to others has a very great impact on your state of mind. Also, painful experiences such as betrayal, such as rejection, also they are part of the inner critic. And these on their own, they lead to low self-esteem, they lead to a lack of acceptance, they lead to a lack of self-love, to a lack of self-worth. You don't recognize yourself when you look at in the mirror because um you did not manage to realize just how much the impact of these inner critics have on you as an individual. So, before, okay, Gwen, moving over to you, um, can you either share a life experience or anything you can relate to with some of the things I was mentioning just now?
Okay, thank you. I'll start with my definition of battle of the mind.
Okay,
I think this is like these are attacks actually
true.
on your mind. They're normally negative attacks to your mind, which is
Mm,
worry. We've got confusion, we've
mm,
got depression, we've got doubt, we've got anger, we have feelings of condemnation as well. We
mm,
can start with worry, especially right now in Zimbabwe. I'm sure everyone is having that battle. Everyone is going through that battle because you're getting worried about what you're going to do 3 months down the line with everything that's going on. Depression. Um, I had my own experience with depression. It was a really shitty one. Sorry for the language. It was a really bad one.
yeah.
Um, I'll get into that later, but I'm just saying these are like negative thoughts or negative attacks to your mindset. And normally, people are encouraged to be around positive people. People are encouraged to be around kind surroundings because your surroundings, they contribute to your mindset. You can't be happy in a abusive environment. You cannot be happy in a very depressive environment. It's not possible. Like what you were saying, these feelings, like, they're not, I can't say feelings as well, but it's also the people that are around you. Like what you're saying, comparison, people saying bad things to you, it sticks to your mind. So you need to be around positive people, happy people, kind people. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that, Queen. Okay, but okay. I'm gonna ask you to go a bit deeper with what I was saying or referring to. Have you experienced issues to do with? Obviously, you have experienced. Do you have examples that you
Why
can relate
obvious?
to? Because you're human. You are human, and your mind, like I was saying, is your CPU box. So obviously, you've experienced a lot, or from since childhood. I'm sure you've experienced a lot. So maybe you can try and share, or maybe share a story that you've read on the internet. I don't know, so that people can really relate to these issues of the mind.
Okay. I had a really good childhood, so I really don't have anything from my childhood. But I'll share something. It was about 2 years back, 2 to 3 years back in college. Obviously, it has to do with men. It was a relationship.
Okay.
Um, I was in a relationship. I dated this guy. And we were okay. Okay, let me start from the beginning. Let me get comfortable.
Okay.
So I was dating this guy. Before we dated, we were friends, and being friends, I didn't notice. You have to notice the little things around a person.
Mm,
Sometimes you can see that, oh, Rumbi is abusive, she's a bully, but you put it aside because
mm,
you're not looking into it. You want the happily ever after. You want the better picture out of everything. Everyone wants that. He was emotionally abusive. He was a bully. And he would say things that would hurt me. But me being me, I'm very empathetic. And I'm a person who thinks or feels that if I do something for someone, they will do it for me in return. But apparently that was not the case. It went on and on and on until it really affected my self esteem. Those words, he never laid a hand on me, but his words affected me. I started to sideline myself from my friends. I would never chill with them because each time I did, he would pass on some comments. I started wearing baggy things because I didn't want to show my body. You'd be
mm.
like, you'd be like, okay, I'll give you an example. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. You'd be like, so you think everyone wants to see your curves?
My property.
They're not even, yeah, they're not even sexy. You think you're so sexy. And then I'd be like, but no, it's not that I'm wearing these clothes for people. I'm wearing them for me, and I'm wearing things that fit me. But the fact that he kept on just drilling it into my head, I started questioning myself. I started doubting myself. I started even doubting my body. I would look in the mirror and I would just see this ugly person, because each and every day in the morning, instead of getting a good morning message, someone is just reminding you how your curves are not so sexy, how you're not beautiful. And then it really affected me. I got depressed. And when you're in college, you're not close to your parents, you're not close to your family, you're not close to anyone who can actually see that there's something going on. I remember when I went home for semester break, I think I was in part three. My mom noticed. She asked me, but I couldn't tell her. How can I tell my mom that someone else is saying my curves are not okay? And she noticed the changes, but she couldn't exactly confront the issue. Then in part four, um, I didn't go back home for the break. I got so depressed. It was really bad until my mom drove all the way to Chinoy to check up on me. And that's when she found out that I was going through all this. And my mom said to me that the moment you feel or the moment your energy repels a person, you need to leave. And our bodies, actually, not the body, the mind gives you warnings. Like what I was telling you, you're shown red flags of certain people. It doesn't need to be in a relationship, it can be at a workplace, it can be with friends. There's some people that are so unlucky with friends, they've got bully friends. A person that will always tell you, oh, you're not pretty, you're ugly. Oh, you're fat. Oh, you're too skinny. You're too dark, or you've got an uneven skin tone. Like those people, they don't want to help you, but they keep highlighting the not so good things about your appearance. So
Mm,
my mom then said to me, you need to take control of your surroundings because the energy that gets into you plays a large part. in your life. Imagine I'm with you and I'm always telling you, oh, you're too dark, you're too this, you're too what. Your self esteem is affected because you don't know what the next person is thinking. You'll be thinking, oh, probably that's what everyone thinks, you know?
Mm, yeah.
So mm, that war or that battle with the mind or in your mind, it's a really crucial thing that you need to be able to fight. You need to be able to guard your mind. You need to be able to guard the energy that gets into you. The moment you just master that part, your life won't be flawless, but it'll be bearable because you're supposed to be able to cut off anything and everything that affects you in a negative way. So cut off negative people. You can't always be with someone who's complaining all the damn time. They do not have anything that they can be grateful for. It's always bickering. It's always complaining. You can't have those people in your life. You can't be in a surrounding that's gloomy. Like everything is just dull and dark. You can't do that. It's just too bad that people can't choose to leave a job if their mindset is not guarded. Some people, they hold on to jobs that are in very bad environments. That's not healthy. You're supposed to be able to leave, but you know how life is. You stick to that. So yeah, that's what I have to share.
Okay, thank you, Gwen, for that, for sharing such a touching story. I can see someone from the comment section is saying sorry about that, about what you went through. And then also, hello to Sukomo, who's just joined us, and hi to Keith again. Okay, okay, sorry, I'm gonna use your story as a point of reference. Okay, so when you're going through what you were going through, did there ever come in time when you started comparing yourself to others? Because,
Yes, I
uh,
would.
yeah,
I
you would.
would.
Oh,
Yeah, I would. My friends were in good relationships. I know people say you're not supposed to compare what you see versus what you have because you never know what the other person is going through. Like the Shona proverb, "Chakafukidza dzimba matenga." But
mm,
when a person is genuinely happy, you can see they've got that glow, they've got that extra shiny glow that they have. And when you're not happy or when you're going through something, it's so unfortunate or fortunate, I'm not sure which word to use. Our bodies, they show. So I would compare myself to my friends who were in happy relationships. And I would ask myself, what's wrong with me? Why can I not be happy? Um, why can't my boyfriend appreciate me the way um, these guys are appreciating my friends? So I would
wow.
always compare.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Queen. Also, during that time, were there any friends who you were able to confide in, or it was an individual battle on its own?
My mom and my sister were open for business. Um, my family has an open arms policy. You can go to anyone and tell them anything. It really doesn't matter what's going on. But I was scared. I think I was in love. I'm not sure if I was in love or I was in love with the fact of being in a relationship with that certain person, but I wasn't really in love. So I was scared that if I run to my mother or if I run to my sister, I tarnish his name. And I had the hope that things would get better between us. So I would always feel, oh, if I go to my mom and then I tell her, this is what's going on, she wasn't going to see him the way I would want her to see him. You know, in her eyes, he would be the villain. Then, hopefully, and my hopefully is in quotes, if things were to get better, my mom wouldn't just switch off that, I can't call it hatred, but that resentment towards him. She wasn't just going to switch it off like a switch and suddenly love him. That's why I never went to anyone. A couple of my friends noticed, but they would ask me, and I would be like, oh, no, we're fine. He's going through some things. Or the relationship is going through some things, ups and downs of a relationship, trying to cover it up.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I'm guessing obviously you broke off whatever was going on with that guy. How did you feel after um being free from him and letting go of the whole thing?
It took me, okay, this thing went on for 2 years, and I will tell you that 3 months of emotional damage or of brain battle mind or whatever that thing is, 3 months, just 3 months is bad. For me, it was 2 years. I went through it for 2 years. So when I finally broke up with this guy, it wasn't about him anymore. It was now about me. Like I said earlier, my self-esteem was now damaged.
Mm-hmm.
That's first. And then I would feel like I'm not lovable. Um, I would feel like um, I'm not good in another man's eyes, because a person will be saying, Rumbi, you're not enough. Without
Mm.
me, you're nothing. Um, Look at yourself, that type of thing. It stays in you even long after the person is gone. So we broke up and I was in a really bad state. Then I started therapy.
You
Doing
started
therapy,
therapy.
yeah, I started
Okay.
therapy. I was depressed. I got so depressed. I got really depressed. So my mom was like, we need to take you for therapy. Then I started reading Joyce Mayer's book, Battle of the Mind. You should
Okay.
read it. It's a really good book.
Mm.
I started reading her book and then I started therapy. It took me about 8 months to be halfway through what I had gone through. Then every day it would get better. It wasn't easy, but it would get better. Right now, I'm okay. Right
Mm.
now, my self esteem is good. It's actually better than it was even before I dated the guy. I feel good. I really don't pay attention to the negative things that people say. I started to filter things like negative thoughts in my mind. That whole thing whereby a person will tell you, oh, you can't wear something short because you're big. I'm big. I'm heavy built. A person can say, with your body, you can't wear shorts. I'll just tell you, I won't tell you to bugger off, but I'll show you by wearing those shorts that you said I can't wear, you know,
Yeah.
because that's what I want to do. That's what makes me happy. I started to learn to put myself first before I do anything for the next person or before I go overboard for the next person. I weigh out, I ask myself, will I even feel good doing this? If it doesn't make me feel good, I leave it. I do not enjoy relationships anymore, whether it's friendships, whether it's these romantic relationships. I've learned to enjoy moments than to try to salvage what's left or to enjoy. You know how they say, shingirira in
Mm.
Shona. I've dropped that. I don't enjoy things anymore. I enjoy. Now my mantra is relationships or friendships or anything in life is meant to be enjoyed, not to be endured.
Wow. I like that mantra of yours. I think I should start applying it in my life as well.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's basically that was the first part of the show, and the first segment on the issue of the battle of the mind. Let me just go shortly into a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back again and on another subtopic on the battle of the mind. Hang in there. We'll be back in a few minutes. Cheers, boss. It's about to get real on. Mama, your body never sleep enough. Me look one straight in at the eye. Close my heart till hope to die. A real bad man about to no man. Coming off in no man. Living in judgment of the day. Me never gonna take away. Me a boss everywhere. Coming off in no man. Me tell it to me you, tell me tell it to him. Daddy have to follow a dream. Make sure me you that you know one. Yeah, me not fear no man. Mother God, me not afraid of them. Them put a behind them and me a brother them. Them pepper to the back, but all the all of them. Me not fear any none of them. Funny the father me afraid. The rule of the young say, girl, try harder. Cause some of them think them father. And none of them father. If things say man, they do the God. If they say man, I gotta go hard. Give thanks to God. Coming out here, come on. Me tell it to me, you tell me, tell it to me. That we have to follow a dream. Make sure me you that you know about. Yeah, me not fear no man. Them man a play it like I. Them have to know say fish not fly. They put a big like Goliath, but just like Devin, me a sling a shot. Yeah. No boy I take mine. Badness can't stop stuff from shine. The boy them a fall like rain. We a take up the fly like no fear no. Living in judgment of me never gonna take away. Me a boss everywhere. Me not fear no more. Me tell it to me you, tell me tell it to him. Daddy have to follow a dream. Make sure me you that you know one. Yeah, me not fear no more. Everything do with it so well. Cause everything we do it was just now. No mercy but let you right now. Can't feel no man, no man, can't feel no man. Yeah. Can't feel no man. we're back again with the Battle of the Mind topic of the day. This is the African Duchess Show with your host, Rumbi Zaim Zoba. And on the guest who's on the show today, we have Gwen Chipangura, who is discussing on the issue of the Battle of the Mind. So if you're tuning in, please feel free to comment on the in the chat room, and also um, add your critics, add your questions. We are all here to learn, and we can all share information. So let me just go through the comments from the chat room. Wow, that's a dangerous place to be, to get rid of anyone that doesn't appreciate you. That is so true. That's from Keith. If you're being abused by someone and you choose to stay, it says more about yourself and your self worth. And then greetings from Kuzi. Greetings from Tanaka. Hello, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you are well today. Okay, so let me move on to the second subtopic of today's show. I was speaking on the elements, or what I call, or what is called, the squatters that reside in our mind. And the second group is called the reactor. So on this one, this is the one that triggers when you find yourself getting angry, frustrated, or in pain. It can be triggered by unhealed wounds from the past, or any experience that in which you that really affected you mentally. And when you're going through this phase, any experience that is closely related to a past wound will set it off. It can be a picture that you see, it can be a message that you see, but it will definitely set you off. So, as individuals, we should uh, not let our past experiences determine our current behaviors. That is something that, as individuals, we haven't mastered. You find and tend to see that in 10 years to come, or in 5 years to come, or in 6 months to come, someone will still be holding on to that pain that they went through. This is because we do not allow ourselves to heal. We want to fast track the whole process. We want to move ahead of time. We should allow ourselves to heal from past experiences. And also that's the time as well to have like a moment of soul searching, and realizing who you are and where you're going. And then back to Gwen, as I was speaking on the reactor reaction, have what can you say on not being able to deal with with your past, because eventually your past catches up with you. That's something people tend to ignore. You hear them, you hear people saying the past doesn't matter, the past doesn't matter, but it does matter, because as long as you don't deal, as long as you don't close certain chapters in your life, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, things have a way of catching up. Things have a way of catching up. So, what can you say to everyone who's on the show on dealing with issues from the past? How can we deal with issues from the past? What can we do? Are we allowing ourselves to heal, or we want to move ahead of time um, just because you feel like it?
Okay, I'll use my experiences as a reference or as an example.
Hmm.
A person generally needs to heal from past experiences. It's very important. For you to move on, you need to deal with what you're.
Hello? Hello? We can't hear you, Gwen. Please turn on your mic or turn up your volume.
What about now? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. As I was saying, you can't jump to number 5 without going through 1, 2, 3, and 4. You need to heal from whatever you went through in your past for you to move on. Because there's no such thing as I'll heal when I get there, or everything will just work itself out. It does not work itself out. It's actually a process. It's like a job that you have to go through, that you need to do. I'll give an example. After my relationship, I had that mindset. For me to heal, I need to move on.
Hello? Hello? Gwen, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Sorry, there was a bit of a break from there, but it's fine.
I think it's a network glitch.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was saying, from my past experience, I told myself that I needed to move on. I needed to date someone else for me to get over whatever I was going through. And I dated a guy, a really good guy. I actually wasted a relationship because of my past wounds. I dated a good guy, um, and then he would be busy. Everyone gets busy with work. But the fact that I was a bit insecure, the fact that I felt like he would, what can I say? Okay, the ex-boyfriend would say, um, why are you wearing those clothes? You want everyone to see your assets. Your assets aren't.
Hello? Hello? Hello,
And it's
Gwen, can
I.
you hear me? Yeah,
I can
yeah.
hear you.
Okay. The network is acting up.
I know.
Okay. You were
So I
saying,
was saying,
mm,
what's the last part that you heard?
the ex would say you're showing off your assets.
Yes,
Mm,
you're showing off your assets. They're not even nice. Who do you want to show? Why are you putting on lipstick? Who are you trying to look pretty for? You're not even pretty, you know? So
mm,
it the fact that it stuck to me. And then I dated someone, even when he would say, "Oh, you're beautiful. I love your skin," or "I love your complexion." I would just be like, "Yeah, you're just saying it for the sake of saying it. You don't even mean it." You know, like
mm,
I would shut down compliments. I would be so negative around him. He would be like, probably, "I love your body structure. I love," or whatever he would say, any compliment that he would give me, I would shut him down. Like, I'd be like, "You don't even mean what you're saying. You're just saying it because I'm your girlfriend." And I was negative about myself. I was negative about anything that was beautiful around me. I didn't see the love that he was giving me. And then
mm,
I would
mm,
always concentrate or always focus on the bad things that he would do, the mistakes. Probably he didn't call when he said he was going to call back. I would make it an issue. But when he would actually call me back, when he said he would, I wouldn't I wouldn't see it because I wasn't used to that, because I didn't get past that experience. I didn't allow myself to heal. I did that whole thing. For you to move on, you need to be under another man. I wasn't literally under another man, but um, you know what that's saying,
I know it
and that
really
is
well.
a wrong saying because you're just shoving things under the carpet. You're not doing anything really. It's like you got hurt or someone shot you. Instead of you taking out the bullet and allowing the wound to heal, you're just putting glue on top of it, and you expect the bullet to just vanish, to just go away. You're expecting that wound to heal on its own, but it won't heal. You need to put dressing on it. It's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. You have to dress
Mm.
it every day. You need to go to the doctors. You need to take pain meds. You need to do a whole lot of stuff just for a simple wound to heal.
That's true.
So I feel like people need to heal from their trauma or from their past experiences for them to properly you don't completely move on, but at least you've got an upper hand. You 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 won't let your past drag you back into that dark hole, because the moment you don't heal, everything around you, it's a trigger. Probably
That's
someone wants to play with you. um they're just being childish with you. In Shona, they say chikudo. If you try
mm,
to play that game with someone who's coming out from a physical abusive relationship, they flinch. They'll think you
mm,
want to hit, to slap them. They'll think you're about to beat them, and it can affect them. You simply raising your hand, probably you want to high five them, or probably you want to pat them on the shoulder. They will get triggered and feel like, oh God, I'm about to get beaten up again.
wow. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, were you done?
Yes, I was done.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that input, Gwen. I can hear from what you were saying. You were mentioning also um, some of the solutions or ways to deal with a pain that has been brought about by past or bad experiences in life. And also to add on to what you were saying, from when we began the show, you were talking about how your ex-boyfriend used to body shame you or make you feel like you weren't enough. Um, there are people out there who solely enjoy making others feel bad about themselves. These
They were not
people,
raised right. Those people were not raised right at all.
that's
That's
true. That's
that's what I
true.
think. That's what I think, because
Mm,
in my family, how I grew up, my family is a safe haven.
mm,
My parents would not, it's not like we're perfect. No one is perfect in life. No one
mm,
is ever perfect. Even the person you call the prettiest or the most beautiful, they're not perfect. But in my family, my parents, they never allowed you to bully other kids, or for
okay.
you to laugh at someone for being big bodied or for being skinny or for being dark. In primary school, I'm dark. Like, I'm dark in complexion. In primary school, the boys used to tease me. They would tease me saying, Dakashiba, Wakashiba, in Shona, you're dark, oh, you're dark. And they would draw these little figures using a black pen. And that would be me. you know. So one day I went home. I was in boarding school. I went home and I was crying. My dad noticed that I was crying. He called my mom. They asked me what's going on. I tell them what was going on. My dad said to me that he's like, the Bible says everyone is fearfully and wonderfully made. And my dad instilled in me that I am beautiful the way I am. My complexion is flawless. And it wasn't him just saying it to make me feel better. It's actually true. My skin tone is flawless. It's not different, head to toe. It's flawless. So he kept on telling me, like, he would instill in me that that's who I am and I should be proud of who I am. I should wear my crown with so much pride. And you know what? When I went back to school, I actually took 1 week off from school. When I went back
Mm.
to school, and then those same boys would say those things to me, I would laugh with them. I stopped crying. I would actually
Okay.
laugh with them, you know? And
Mm.
I'd be like,
Mm.
oh, wow. And then when they would draw their little stick figures, I would actually go there and put hair on that little stick figure because I'm a girl. And I would
Yeah.
actually add a skirt, you know?
Mm.
I took
Mm.
control of it.
That's
And
true.
it's so unfortunate that when you grow up, when people grow up, you know, when you're a child, you you don't really get bothered by a lot of things. But
Mm.
when you grow up, that's when things really start affecting you. And it's so unfortunate that when I grew up, sorry, um,
Mm.
that's when it really affected me. There's a time when I look back to my primary school days and I'll be like, wow, I had so much courage. Why didn't I have that same courage when I was going through all this stuff? And
Mm.
then recently I laughed at myself and I'm like, so I actually wasted 2 years of my life, 2 good years of my life being body shamed by this person. And when my therapist asked me about his upbringing, when my therapist asked me about his family, you know, the first thing that she said, she was like, you couldn't see that his family was broken. You couldn't
Mm.
see, like,
Mm.
you
Mm.
couldn't
Mm.
see that he wasn't
You-
raised right. So I feel like rude people, body shamers, okay, I can't say negative people because not all people that dwell in negativity aren't raised right, but most of them, they're not raised right.
Mhm.
It all, like what they say, charity begins at home.
That's true.
You
That is
can't
very.
be saying to someone you're fat, knowing that those three letters can have a really bad impact on someone's life. If you've got nothing nice to say, just shut up. Don't say anything. You can't go around abusing other people's kids if you
Mhm.
are raised right. It's not possible. So I feel like people who body shame or people who make other people go through hell, they were not raised right. Something is just wrong with their upbringing. That's where I stand.
I agree with you on that, Queen, because growing up, there are certain traits or there are certain behaviors that one is accustomed to because of the way they were brought up, and also the surroundings as well. They also affect someone's behavior. I don't know if you agree with me on that, because
I
uh,
do.
you do, right? Yeah, your surrounding as well can have a very um, negative impact on you. Let's say your parents raise you well and all, but also and then you spend most of your time at school, right? But it doesn't guarantee that you will right? There are certain things, right, that are, you get what I'm saying, that are acquired because of the environment. So also in schools, I tend to find that also teachers, right, there are certain skills that they don't teach us when we are kids, like things like that. Don't shame others, don't do this to others. They just say, you know what, these are the things that you should be taught at home. And when you come home, at times your parents, they don't have time to teach you certain things, they don't have time to teach you certain skills. So I think also parents, sisters, brothers, we should also be actively involved in the day-to-day lives of these young ones, because at the end of the day, we want to shape a better world, we want to shape better products out there in Africa and in Zimbabwe. Thank you for that, Queen. When you mentioned a Bible verse that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, do you think it's important as well to have affirmations in our lives? Because I understand they really have a positive impact on our mind. Because the moment, let's say, someone calls you a loser or someone calls you a douche, right? The moment you have no counter to that, those negative words that you have been spoken in your life, if you're not careful, they will really start to manifest, they will really start to show. You will really become a loser for sure, because in your mind that is what's in there. But then when you have a counter, is it important to have affirmations that you say, you know what, I'm not a loser, I'm brilliant, I'm beautiful, I'm magnificent, I'm very intelligent. Is it important to have affirmations in your life? Because I understand not so many people are involved in this when it comes to the issue of affirmations, or when you wake up in the morning, like you have to have like a certain aura, because that aura will take you through the day. It will also set the tempo, because the moment you wake up as a third person, the rest of your day, no matter what you go through, no matter what you see, no matter the good things you face, just because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, it can really affect your day. So back to the issue, are affirmations important? Setting the tone of your day, is it important? And also, when it comes to the aura that you set for yourself. Hello, Gwen?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I was saying, personally for me, affirmations are very important. Like what you said in the introduction of the show, you were like, our brain is our CPU.
Mm,
The brain controls everything. It controls your senses, it controls your motion. So I feel like the moment you stick to something, you tell yourself that you're not good at something, you will never be good at it. I'll give an example with high school. Almost
mm,
everyone struggled with mathematics. That's not a lie.
mm,
Everyone will struggle with math. But at some point, at my school, my class, we failed, like three-quarters of the class failed math that term. And then he told us, he was like, it's in your brain that you always say math is hard. The moment you keep telling yourself math is hard, math is hard, math is hard, it will never be easy, because that's what you're programming your mind to do. It's like the moment you tell yourself, I'm a failure in life, I'm a loser in life, you will be programming your brain into thinking that. So anything that comes to you, any success that comes to you, you won't see it. You will just see the bad things around you.
mm,
So I feel like affirmations are really good. You need to remind yourself every day that you're beautiful. You need to remind yourself every day that you're intelligent. You need to remind yourself every day that you can conquer anything and everything that can come to like that can come your way in any way. You need to remind yourself that you're strong. You need to remind yourself that you can do anything. Anything is possible. Like under the sun, you can be anything and you can do anything. So affirmations are very important. They will help you because it's a daily reminder to yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Yes, you might have friends that can pick you up, but it's solely your responsibility to affirm yourself. It's like you're putting on an armor every day, refining yourself to make yourself feel better because your day starts in the morning. And for sure, if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, the whole day is messed up. You're going to be biting off people's heads over silly things. So you need to make sure that every time, the moment you wake up, remind yourself, make it like a routine, make it your daily bread. Every morning you wake up, you say the things that make you feel better because maybe telling yourself that you're beautiful is different from how I tell myself that I'm beautiful. So you affirm yourself in the things that you feel can pull you down. So you, for me, it was okay. I'm very, I'm comfortable in my body. Like I said, I'm heavy built. I'm okay with how I am. So at first, before when I wasn't, I would affirm myself. I would affirm myself and be like, I'm thick and I'm really sexy with my thickness. And I would always try to wear baggy things until I stopped wearing baggy things because this is my body. That's
Mm,
how that's how I was made. This is how I am. I can't change it unless if I go for surgery, as of which I can't afford surgery. So I need to embrace who I am.
mm,
So I would affirm myself. Now I walk with pride. I wear those shorts, those short skirts, those short dresses with pride because that's who I am. I reminded myself that I'm good that way. So nothing can tear that down now. So affirmations are really important.
okay. Thank you for that, Gwen. Okay, okay, because life is full of ups and downs. At times, people will make you angry, people will make you sad, people will make you happy, people will make you do so many things or react in so many ways. So, let's say someone, or your family, your mom, your whatever, they make you angry. Um, I used to hear that you should count, actually, you should silently count to 10 in your heart before you speak. And then some people would say it's important to apply breathing exercises in your life, like breathing in and out, because this gives the adrenaline time to normalize. And then after you've normalized, you can address whatever situation with a calmer and more rational behavior, because you want to avoid damaging behavior. And also, when you're more calmer, you are in control of your thoughts. You are in control of what you are going to say next. So for you, how do you deal with when you get angry? Do you do this breathing in and out exercises? Do you count from 1 to 10 before you speak? How do you deal when it comes to anger? Like anger management, how do you deal with it as you, as Queen?
I walk away. That's what I do. Yeah, I walk away. If if it's like an open area, probably we're in a room and I get angry, I walk away from you.
Mm,
I take a walk
mm,
and I breathe.
mm,
I collect my thoughts. I calm myself down. I ask myself, why would someone do this? Because it's not like you planned to anger me.
Mm.
Probably you did it without knowing. So I ask myself, oh, why did Rumbi say such a thing? Why did Rumbi say this? And then if I come back and you still want to proceed with the issue, I
Mm.
will tell you then and there that I don't want to talk about it. We will talk about it later. In case I say something that I will regret. As of which 99.99% of the time people say things that they regret
Mm.
when they're angry. Then way later, or I can keep quiet and you will notice that I'm angry and I'll keep quiet. Then later on, I'll then say, oh, Rumbi, you know what? I didn't like the way you did what you did, or you said what you said. And then I will tell you how I feel in a much calmer state. Because it's pointless for me to try to express my feelings whilst I'm shouting at you. Because obviously you're going to retaliate because you're
Mm.
human also. So two wrongs don't make a right. So
Okay.
for me, I don't do the counting thing. I do the breathing thing. It actually
Mm.
helps. I
Mm.
breathe. I take a walk. I take about 30 minutes to calm myself, collect my thoughts, and then I come back. But if you're still trying to be a pest, I leave you and I ignore you. You can be talking to me, but I won't say anything to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That is Gwen's way of dealing with anger or when something really gets to her. As for me, the African Duchess, what I do at times, like you know, I also go silent. I can go silent because not because I'm too angry, but then you don't want to say things or come off the wrong way because tomorrow, right? The chances of you seeing that person are very high, or spending time, or the edge of wanting to see that person is very high. So imagine it after going off at each other today over something so petty, and then tomorrow, then what, you know? So yeah, as for me as well, I go silent because I just want to breathe. And another thing that I do as well is when I'm really, really, really angry, I go to sleep because I feel like when I wake up, I I feel like it's another brand new day, even if it's in the afternoon. The moment I wake up, I feel like it's another brand new day, and I'll be feeling much better. Or at times, I take a shower just to feel fresh and maybe reminisce on something so that I take my mind off that person who's caused me so much anger, or just to breathe and take time. Okay, so I'll just go through some of the general solutions that one can do or try, because I understand we all have different ways of dealing with certain actions that are derived from our state of mind. I urge you, our viewers, I urge you, Gwen, as well. Also, maybe you can help me on these solutions. At times when the heat gets too much, like for example at work, I understand work can be quite stressful. It can be quite stressful. Even siblings, they can drain you. At times, you need to take a break. Take a break from everyone else. And just give time to yourself. Gwen, are you with me on that? Hello,
Hello?
are you with me on
Hello?
that?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. It's important to take a break. It doesn't mean it's not a bad thing to take a break. It's actually very normal because the moment you start saying to yourself, nah, I'm okay, nah, I'm okay, nah, I'm okay, it'll get to a point where you will burst, the CPU will crash, and you won't know what hit it, what type of a virus it was. At times, you are not sick. I tell you, you are not sick. You're not sick. You're not, it's not a headache. You just need to take a break, right? You just need to take a break. And while it's maybe on that break, you can do yoga, you can start something, you can join a book club, you can go for swimming, you can go for a picnic. Even as yourself, don't be taking people along. It's a break for you as a person, for you as Gwen, for me as Rumbiza. It's a break that I'm taking for myself to breathe and see the whole world, or to see things differently. Also, another way is like Gwen was saying, is you should let go of the past, and but then we can only let go of our past if we had dealt with certain things or experiences at that time, because we can't be dealing with heartbreaks that happened 4 years ago now. You should deal with situations at hand and not run away, because the moment you run away, those same issues, they will follow you into the future. Also, you should commit to personal growth as an individual. Maybe Gwen can speak more on that. What do we mean when we say you should commit to personal growth or personal development?
Okay. Personal growth. When it comes to personal growth, I think people need to take some time out in life.
Mm,
That's number one. You need to recognize yourself. You need to know yourself. That's the only way you can grow as Rumbi. That's the only way you can grow as Gwen. You need to take some time out. You just take a step back from all the noise that's around you. Discover yourself. Learn what you like. Learn what you can't tolerate. You can't just go with the wind. You will never grow. You'll always be stuck. For example, if other people are doing this, that's what you do. You can't say no, you can't say yes. You will never grow. You'll be like those redundant bush plants.
mm.
It's just in one position. So that's what I think people should do when it comes to personal growth. So you need to improve yourself, improve the way you react, improve your thoughts, improve how you communicate with other people. You can even improve your skills, your knowledge, your personal qualities, even the goals in your life. I'll give something people take for granted. You need to take yourself out for dates for you to know if you like your coffee black, or you like it with two sugars, or you like it with milk. You need
Mm.
to sit, you need to be able to sit on your own in a restaurant, order your own food, discover if you prefer sushi to prawns. Probably you like your meat medium rare, or you love it rare. You can never know if you don't take that time out. You need to remove yourself from the crowd and do things on your own. That's how you give yourself room to grow. So, personal growth is also important.
Okay. All right. Also, I once read that you should also learn to deal with difficult people, because the people around you, they really affect your mental state of being. Okay, some of these people around us, these are family members, okay? And people are different. Some people are harsh, some are softer, some are short tempered. People just have different personalities. So, and at the end of the day, you want to preserve or you want to have control over your mind, over your thoughts. How do you deal with difficult people like that? Do you have experience not from your family, but even at work, there are people who are just difficult. They're like a tick. The moment you think it's gone, it's back again. How do you deal with people who are just difficult?
I ignore that. That's I can say that's my number one weapon that I
Mm,
use to protect my energy, to protect myself, especially when it comes to work. If you're
mm,
difficult and we're supposed to be working together, I ignore you and I just do the things that need to be done. Because the moment you try to understand someone, it affects you, especially if you're an empathetic person.
mm,
Empathy is something that's bad at times, but overally, it's a good thing. It's actually a good quality. So, what I do is if you try to be difficult, I actually have someone from work who is or was like that. I began to ignore them. If they don't perform their tasks, I'll just do them. I'll just do the tasks that is that need to be done, and I would get it over and done with. So at some point, they thought they had the upper hand, that I was stupid and I
mm,
was doing their job for them.
mm,
Until one day I wasn't there at work and they had to do it. And they started calling me, "Oh, you left it at this position. We need to do this. How do I go about it?" At first, she called. I didn't pick up because I knew that's what she needed. And
mm,
she then sent me several messages. I ignored. I just ignored her totally. And
mm,
then I come back to work. Guess what she says? She's like, I abandoned her. I reminded her of every single thing that she was doing in the past. That's how I deal with difficult people at work. Because I know
mm,
one day you're going to have to do that thing on your own, and probably you're going to need me. I'll just show you that I'm not available for you. Then for other people, I understand, yes, in families, there's some people that have got very difficult family members. My mom would say, don't let, like what I told you, she said you need to guard your energy. But she would, for me, it was with friends. She would say, you need to cut off the lifeline. You don't have to like shut someone out, probably not
mm,
talk to them
mm,
or block them or whatever that is, because it takes more energy for you to do bad things
mm,
than the good things. So imagine the effort you put in blocking someone, the effort you put in trying to forget and all that. It's really bad for you. So you just cut off the lifeline. You probably don't pick up their calls, you don't reply to their messages, you turn off notifications to their messages, their calls, and all that. So even when it comes to family, I'm sure you can do that. You can distance yourself from those people. You don't have to hate your family, that's your family, but you can distance yourself from those certain people, because at the end, when your energy is disrupted. You stand on your own.
Mm.
They won't admit and say, "Oh, I did this to Rumbi. Rumbi's in this state because I did this to her." No, they won't say that. So you just cut off the lifeline and you love them from afar.
Okay. Thank you for that, Queen. Okay. On another note as well, another way of dealing with your mind, you should also get a hobby. Get a hobby. It's very healthy because at times when you're feeling in some type of way, um, the moment you go to your hobby or you start doing your hobby, you are now concentrating on that hobby, and before you know it, your energy, right, like Gwen was saying, it automatically shifts from that whole situation you were going through, because now you are doing what you love. When you do what you love, you are less stressed. You you are in your zone, and you are quite happy with whatever you are doing. So I advise each and everyone to get a hobby, be it baking, be it even games like chess. There are people who actually recommend chess, who could recommend knitting as well, because all those skills, they require you to really concentrate on them, and they allow you to strategize, because in chess I understand you don't just move any piece as you please, because you will lose the game. So those are really good for you because they allow your mind to think through before you do anything. That is one rule I've seen from people who play chess or people who are involved in chess. You don't just move a piece without thinking of its impact on the competitor or on the rival, or the person you'll be playing against. So it's very important for you to find something or a hobby where you can channel your energy, or because that will be your place of rest. It will be your place, it will be your heaven when you need to relax, when you need to take a breather. You know what? Let me just bake. Let me just do this because it really allows my blood to flow really quite well, and I'm not stressed when I'm doing this. So those are some of the things that you should focus on and find time um, to really try them out. Gwen, do you have hobbies that you do, or things that you've tried out that really brings out a level of happiness in you? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, now we can hear you.
I'm a Tetris fanatic. That's what
Okay.
keeps me calm. Yeah, that's what keeps me calm at times. It helps me to make proper decisions. Also, I knit.
You need.
Knitting, yes, I
Oh,
knit.
okay.
Knitting is very therapeutic and it helps you to have a certain level of control.
Mm,
Because isn't when you're knitting, you need to follow a certain pattern for
pattern.
you to
Mm,
come up with a scarf or a pair of gloves, whatever you want to make, even a beanie. So the moment one set of the pattern goes off course, you need to start over. So you can't allow yourself to get carried away. You can't allow yourself not to concentrate. You can't allow yourself not to be aware of your surroundings. And even Tetris, I've got it, mine is a one way. I can't. turn the blocks, I can't do anything. So I need to make sure every block that I place gets onto the right position. Because if I don't, it means the game is over. There's nothing that I've
Mm,
done. And you can
mm.
get frustrated. It's very frustrating. You can get frustrated at first, but you end up learning from your mistakes, and you end up having that certain level of control. So those are my hobbies. Yeah, those are my two hobbies. What are your hobbies, Rumbi? What helps you?
What helps me? Uh, okay, I'm a TV person. I'm a TV person. I respect my series. I respect my movies. So at times, that's one of the things that I do. I focus on my movies, and also, believe me, I'm a reader. So at times as well, I search for novels, um, and then I concentrate on them. I can feel it when I'm really, 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 really sad or angry to the max. You'd be surprised. I can finish a whole book in like 48 hours because uh, I'm putting my mind in it. I can't afford to not understand chapter one, because for me to understand chapter two, I really have to know what really happened in chapter one. So that's the one time, or that's the one thing as well, that I can channel my energy towards. So yeah, I'm a reader and TV as well. I can't say they're really hobbies as per se, but those are my escape. Hello? Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. So yeah, those are, for me, those are my escapes. Reading novels, and TV. Okay. So all right. Let me just go through the comment section. Hello everyone from Whistleblower, Louisiana. Hello there. How are you? Everyone from this is from Snobile Moyo. Everyone at present is a product of their past. The mind, from Light Bearer, the mind is powerful. That is very true. Your mind is very powerful. It's the people who make it to the Guinness record. I'll tell you, they have a mind the same as you. It's just that they are really using it to its maximum capacity. And these are people who say to themselves, you know what? I want to be great. I am great, and I'm going to make a name for myself. No one is limited. No one is limited, okay? No one is the sky actually is not the limit. You'll be
And it's
surprised
not
that,
even about being great. It's not about greatness. It's about living your life to its full potential.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you for
Because when we
catching me
talk
on that.
about greatness, people um they attach greatness with money.
True.
I personally feel
Mm,
like money is not everything. You can have
mm,
money, you can
mm,
have like a shitload of money, but you won't be
mm.
happy. You'll be depressed, and no amount of money will take you out of depression. But
That's
it's
very
about
true.
living your life to its full potential. There's this picture, um, I once saw it on Facebook. It's these two people in a bus, and it's raining. Someone is loving the rain, the other, and they're happy that, oh, it rained. Flowers are going to bloom. There's going to be a rainbow after the rain. The next person is so gloomy. He's sad. Why is it raining? And then there's this darkness like around him.
Mm,
You're living the same life, you're going through the same circumstances, you're going through the same weather. It's your mind that helps you with the outcome.
mhm, mhm,
Because
mhm,
it can rain right now. It can rain right now, and you get frustrated that your weave got rained on. Or you can actually dance in the rain and be a
mm.
child again. So it's all about living your life to its full potential.
Okay. Thank you for that, Gwen. You all heard her. Live your life to the fullest. Live your life. Enjoy your life, because you are the author of your own happiness. You are also the author of your own distraction. Okay. All right. Ruby, don't read when you're mad because you can't absorb the information. Wow, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised the amount of novels I've read when I'm depressed. Okay, there's another comment from Keith. Yes, young lady, man doesn't buy you happiness. That is very true. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our show. The topic for today was Battle of the Mind. I hope you learned and picked up one or two things from the discussion with our beloved financial analyst, Gwen. Thank you for coming in on the show tonight, Gwen. Thank you to our viewers, to everyone who came in, to everyone who participated. Thank you all for coming in. This is the African Duchess Show with your host Rumbidzai Mzopa from Zimbabwe in Southern Africa. Um, from Southern Africa. Gwen, do you have anything to say? Sorry, before I close down the show. Hello?
Hello?
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I was asking, do you have anything to say before we close down the show?
Oh,
Any?
okay.
Yeah.
I was okay. I wanted to say that people need to try and take charge of their surroundings. They need to protect their energy. I keep referring to energy because I feel like energy and the mind, it's one and the same thing.
Mm,
So you need to stop dwelling in negative thoughts. That's the first thing. You need to remove yourself from negative people. You need to stop, like, there's some TV shows, like a genre that's always about sad things, negative
mm,
things. You need to stop that. Stop listening to sad songs. Okay, you're allowed to listen to one or two sad songs when you're going through something, but after that, you need to stop. So you need to like protect your energy because, like you said, the mind is the CPU. So if that gets corrupted or something goes wrong, it means your whole body, it shuts down. You're not dragging your feet. When you look at things through your eyes, all you see is bad things. When you hear things, you don't hear the good things. You concentrate on the bad things. So people need to guard their mindset. They need to guard their energy. That's all I have to say.
okay. Thank you for that, my sister Gwen. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Shout out to Keith. Shout out to Spikes, who were also on the show. And shout out to Singobile Moyo, who's been part of this show through and through. Shout out to Light Bearer. Shout out to um, Louisiana. Thank you all, guys, for tuning in on the show. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. Central African time From the Duchess, good night, goodbye. To those who are waking up, good morning. To those who are up already, have a good day. From me, bye.
Tell me, yeah, yeah, oh. Type on my name, I saw what teach it to my and the sun I'm walking in, teaching later in the same place, chilling with people with two face, letting them take over my space, letting them run over my race. Oh, when no is telling you what to do and who you are, so you tell them straight on. Mama raised me right now, otherwise not. Go Shanti, right now, you're beautiful, right now, yeah, right now. Walk on the highway.
Okay. Waka bega waka daro. Trust me, nobody can take your place. You're a gift straight from God that's created to blow. And the bottle of they know that power you have for you. They try to break you so that you just lose. Devil's a liar, just dash on them skirt. You know that you can be anything. You can live your dream of fantasy. No one know how shit be easy, but you shouldn't give it until you have everything. I am a living testimony. I used to think I'm disappointed. Nobody can love you if you don't love yourself. So tell them go Shanti. Yeah. Right now. Right about now. Beautiful. Right now.